Hey everyone, my name is Matthew Dennis Lewis.
And I am Russell Dennis Lewis.
And you are watching the Permanent Rain Press.
Hi everyone, it's Chloe with the Permanent Rain Press today. I am so thrilled to be joined by Matthew and Russell Dennis Lewis. How are you guys?
We're doing
Great,
good.
thank you.
I'm doing good. Lot to discuss, so let's jump right into it. Chat about the Queen's Gambit, where you star as Matt and Mike. I know we didn't get to see you two playing chess in the show, but you did have to take some lessons. So how important was it for you to gain an understanding of the game?
Well, I think, yeah, we're never seen playing chess, but the director, writer, Scott Frank wanted us to be very familiar with it, just so we have that knowledge of the world, because obviously the show revolves on that a lot. So we did have some chess lessons with actual chess masters on set. But yeah, we weren't very good. So, so luckily you never see us play.
No, but it was really cool just to be able to interact with the chess masters that they had on set and to be able to learn that from them, because that was an experience you don't normally get.
Chess skills, you said you're not very good at it. Have you kept up have you been playing any games during this kind of pandemic period?
On our phones.
Yeah, I still play every day. I play a couple of games on my phone. But again, yeah, I'm too impulsive. I can't see, 12 moves down the way. So yeah, but.
So we're going to talk about what happened in the show. So spoilers ahead. For each of you, what was your favorite scene to be a part of?
I mean, the pool scene was a lot of fun. What a lot of people don't know is that it was really cold that day. The scene was originally supposed to be shot as a day scene with sunshine, but the weather that we were given in Berlin that day was not favorable. So it was actually like torrential downpours the entire day and really cold. But we ended up having a blast shooting that scene. It was so much fun.
Yeah, and then I think just because it was such a fan favorite moment of like the grand reveal at the end when all the guys are back in Benny's apartment on the phone, I think it was just a fun scene to shoot because, yeah, people weren't expecting it.
I just love that scene, like you mentioned in episode 7, because I think it was such a rare moment of unity where we saw like a lot of the cast come together. So I love that scene. That was my personal favorite. You work with Scott Frank on Godless. So working with him and Alan, seeing their vision come to life and playing these characters that were essentially created for you. But what did you take away from being a part of this project?
Just like the understanding of like what working with someone truly is like, because we built such a good relationship with Scott on Godless, that's what paved that way to make him want to work with us again in the Queen's Gambit, and things like that are, the relationships that, actors like thrive and strive for in this industry.
Yeah, and also Scott, he also brought a lot of crew from Godless as well, and actors. So we were on set with a dozen plus people we've worked with before. So it was just like the family was back together. Everyone knew how everyone worked. Everyone got along, and it was just like you just picked up where you left off, and it's a great way to work because you just feel like you belong.
Yeah.
Reunions are always very nice. You got to share scenes with a lot of the cast, like Anya, Marielle, Thomas, Harry. So what was it like working with them?
Amazing. Like Anya is truly, a gem in the industry. She's so genuine and nice and polite. She takes her craft very serious, which is something we appreciate. Like there's always time in between takes and scenes to talk and joke around, but she was always there 100% on point when the cameras were rolling.
And also always learning chess, because every time you see her playing chess in the show, she actually had to memorize every single game, every single move. So she didn't have much free time. Yeah.
Taking acting to the next level. Mentioning that scene in season 7, it was the first time you got to work with a lot of the other guys, even though it was for such a small moment. So how much fun was it filming that?
That was a lot of fun because it actually felt like a group of friends hanging out in Benny's apartment. Because we were just all in that room together. Like even when they were setting up for the different shots, that takes time. Some people don't understand how long it actually takes to switch the camera from one side to the other. But so we had like a whole day just hanging out in there.
Yeah.
A lot of conversations, or was there any chess playing during that time?
No, not too much chess playing because we had to make sure the board stayed. No, but no, I don't think we had a board set up at that time. But again, but it was great again, because that was our one day on set working with Thomas Brody Sangster, who again we worked with on Godless. So it was nice to have like our one day, you know. And so we had a lot of catching up as well as like bringing the new guys.
Were you happy with how it ended, or would you like to see more from Beth Harmon's stories and your characters?
I mean, we were very happy with where it ended, and we fully understand, you know, where the story could and would go, and we also understand that it's a very good place to put a pin in it and leave it as well. So,
yeah, I think ending it on a high note where, you know, the underdog wins and she's successful. It's hard to go anywhere from that, because you don't really want to take anything away from her after achieving all that, and there's not much room to go from there. So it's kind of hard to do a second season without messing it up.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you and the whole team. It was just announced earlier this week that the show is nominated for a Golden Globe, so I'm sure that was a nice surprise to wake up to.
Yeah, it was. We woke up with a lot of texts.
Hopefully at some point you guys have like a virtual reunion or something like that. I'm sure fans would love to see, because you filmed this a while ago out in Berlin, 3 months. So what did you get up to out in Germany?
A lot of just walking around and exploring the city.
Yeah, we couldn't go that far away because by contract can't really leave. so we couldn't really explore Europe. But no, we had a great time in Berlin. I mean, there's so much good food and the beer's great. And when we were there towards the end of our stay, all the holiday markets started popping up. So it was a great time to be there and to really celebrate and enjoy Berlin.
I'm sure the architecture as well must have been beautiful.
Yeah, it was really crazy, you know, to see the juxtaposition of new and old in Berlin, because there's still so much of like, you know, old like post and pre-war buildings, you know, still there. And then you've got all of like the brand new skyscrapers and stuff going up too. So it's really cool. You can be walking through a neighborhood and 3 blocks later, it looks like a completely different city. Really cool.
I'm sure you guys got a lot of steps in. I think someone mentioned in an interview you had like 12 days on set, but you were there for 3 months. So I'm sure a lot of downtime to explore around the same area. Closer to home, you guys stopped by the installation at Union Station. I saw you even met some fans as well.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, because we were told by a friend who actually worked with us on the show. She lives in Scotland now, but she's like, hey, have you guys heard of this exposition they're doing? We're like, no, we had no idea. So we decided to go, and good thing we did, because the day we got there was like the second to last day that the installation was going to be up. We're like, oh, we got it just in time. So we went to take some pictures, and a couple of people were like, wait, are you the twins? We're like, yeah. And then they asked to take pictures, and then people saw that, and then more people asked, but it was fun.
How come no one told you guys beforehand that this exhibit was there?
No, we have no idea until our friend told us.
I mean, but I'm not sure if maybe they just didn't want to draw too much attention to it because of the pandemic. They didn't want to have like large crowds showing up and to be responsible for that. So I think Netflix just threw it up as like a little hidden gem, and like, oh, people find it, they find it, they don't.
It was really cool though. The pictures don't really do it justice, but like walking into it, it looked like an ancient monument or something. Like you just felt like you were like at a like crazy like museum or something. It was cool.
Hopefully it's brought back again at some point. It did look like quite an open space from the pictures, so that was good. I wanted to talk about you two fighting each other in Matt's fight reel over on YouTube. Was all of this like for purely acting professional purposes, or did you use any of these scenes to get a little jab in at each other, air out some frustrations?
Yeah, we used to actually do a lot of those just for fun.
Yeah, we used to do them for fun. Just we brought in a lot of friends. We would just do it. One, just to stay active and practice skills, and two, just to have footage of something just in case we ever had to, if anyone ever asked, like, oh, do you have any fight reels? We're like, yeah, we have a couple. But
yeah, and they did help with some, you know, indie projects in the beginning, especially when first moving to LA, just because of some of the roles that we were getting, you know, with police and military and stuff like that.
So are you hoping to do a lot more action-based roles in the future?
I would love to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the fun stuff.
Getting chased, fighting,
get to do some stunts and chase scenes and
thrown around.
Yeah.
You know, growing up, did you have a lot of competition between you two? Did you find yourself auditioning for the same role?
Well, growing up, competition-wise, I'll cover that and you can cover roles. You know, sometimes we would compete a lot against each other, but the most was in sports, and specifically track. You know, we'd be purposely pit against each other because our coach would know that one of us would beat the other one, so one of us would get first place. You know, so they did do it in sports a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as roles go, I think we never even worked as twins until Godless, and then after Godless, that's all we've been, twin, which is great. It's fine. It's good work. But up to that point, like we never even auditioned for the same role, except maybe like once. But we also have different reps. We have different agents and managers because there's so much competition as there is. We don't want to be competing with our own representation. Like, hey, well, why is he going out and I'm not? So we make sure to keep things separate, and we try to keep somewhat different looks. Like I usually have like longer hair. He usually has shorter hair. So it's like we kind of go out for different types as well. So.
I like that. It kind of works. And as you mentioned, when you do get the opportunity to be cast as twins, it is that shared experience. Your friends and family must be so proud of you. Two guys from Harpersville, New York, making it out in Hollywood. Have you managed to go back there at all during the holidays, or you've just kind of been in LA?
Yeah, we made it back around Thanksgiving and then again around Christmas time. And it was a lot of fun. Everyone, they're just blown away by it. You know, just to see it on TV, and like both of our local news channels did little interviews with us, and you know, it's always cute.
Yeah, these are news channels you probably watched a lot growing up. As twins, what is the most common or most annoying question you get asked?
Probably the do you feel each other's pain, or can you read people or each other's thoughts?
That, or I would say we have this term called twin hoppers, where someone will ask one out, and if they say no, they'll just hop to the other twin because it's the next best thing. So we're like, oh, thanks, I'm second choice. Okay.
Yeah, like the mind reading one, I get that a lot with my twin as well. Do you think that you can kind of read each other's minds, or like where are you at with that?
I mean, maybe sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can read each other's minds, but I think there's definitely been times where I'll be thinking something and then he'll say it or say something very closely related to it. I'm like, oh, I was just thinking that. And or we do from time to time say the same thing at the same time, but yeah, but
I think it's more of it's the shared experience. It's not because you were born reading each other's mind, but it does work really well. I think when you play Pictionary, like on the same team.
Or Heads Up, our friends won't let us be on the same Heads Up team because we crush it.
That's like the kicker. They're like, you absolutely cannot be on the same team. In Matthew's resume, it lists karaoke singing as one of your special skills. For each of you, what's your go-to karaoke song?
Usually something Bon Jovi.
That right? I like "Time Is Running Out" by Muse. It's like a rock song, yeah. But we sing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Did you used to host like karaoke nights at your place, or?
No, we never hosted. But when we were in New York City, there was a bar called Japa's 55 that we used to go to probably once a week almost.
Yeah.
With our friends, and we'd literally shut it down like every time we went. Like we'd be there until they closed, like hours and hours.
Things to look forward to, hopefully, in the future, getting back to New York City and those nights. You are cat and dog dads and uncles. Where did this love for animals come from?
I think we've always had it, really.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up in a very rural part of the country, so I mean, there were always animals around. Mm-hmm. We weren't exactly allowed to have pets at home.
Yeah, our mom's really allergic to cats and dogs, so like when we were growing up, we had one cat, but you know, we loved him.
Yeah, but also like we lived up in the middle of nowhere, and there's nothing but farms around, so people would always drive up and leave their stray dogs and cats at the farms because the farmers would just take them in. So we would always like be bringing strays home and like hiding them behind the house and like taking care of them for a couple of weeks. And mom and dad would come and find them and then they'd take them back to the farm. But yeah, I think we're always animal lovers.
It's funny, like the second you guys move out on your own, you're like, I'm getting pets because I couldn't get them when I was younger. Going back home to that farm, like, do you have a favorite place? Are you liking the city life more, or do you always have, I'm sure, like your heart with the farm where you grew up?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's nice going home. It's quiet, it's peaceful, but at the same time, like after living because we lived in New York City for several years, we live in LA now. Like now, like going for several days out the like hustle and bustle gets a little it gets you a little stir crazy. So it's like, I kind of need to get back to energy. It's nice to relax for a few days, but after a while you're just like, okay, I need to be doing something.
It's the perfect place to recharge when you need it.
So I wanted to talk about the feature film that Matthew is directing. Russell is either starring, co-starring in. What details can you share about this upcoming project?
Well, I'm not directing it. I think the one you're talking about is the one I'm writing currently in the future.
Is it just writing? Oh, I thought I read in an interview directing. Okay, just writing.
Yeah, I'm writing one right now, and I also wrote a short film that we were both in, and that's in the film festival circuit right now, and that's doing well. And this film, it's not an extension of that, but it's a feature in the same flavor. So right now we're like in the preliminary like pre-production process of pulling everything together. I'm working on a couple of small edits with the script right now, and like our production team and producers are acquiring the funding and getting locations and all that set up. It takes a long time to get these things, especially now that things are just starting to be able to move forward again because everything was put on hold for a year. But yeah, so without giving too much of the storyline away, it's about the main character of the story, Aaron. It's about like compounding problems that he has through his life, issues that he has with his father and older brother, growing up, and then he leaves for the military and experiences some problems there, and he comes back and he relies heavily on his best friends, and in doing that he pulls his best friend into some very bad situations. So it's about the two of them navigating through that.
Sounds really interesting. So kind of like drama.
Yeah, it's a drama. It's a drama for sure.
Was it written like when you're writing it, do you have your brother in mind? Is that kind of
Well, this particular one I did not have in mind, but there are plenty others that I am working on that he has plenty of roles in. But this particular one, no. But there actually is another one that I've been storyboarding that would involve both of us.
exciting? I love that, you're kind of also getting used to working on the behind the scenes aspect. For Russell, is that something that you're interested in as well, or you're kind of comfortable?
I mean, I used to do a lot of writing when we lived in New York City. Actually, that's one of the reasons why I moved out to LA is Matt and I were working on a TV concept together that we had the opportunity to pitch out in LA to a few different places. And then also I wrote a feature as well that we were trying to get funding for, and then it just never got off the ground. And then I got to the point where I was spending so much time writing that I wasn't focusing on my acting. I'm like, well, wait, this is my original passion. So I kind of put the writing in the back burner.
Hopefully more opportunities to come in the future. I do think it's great you're able to kind of work on the behind the scenes part during the pandemic. Hopefully get it up and running, get to filming in the near future. We have one more question, or signature question for you. If each of you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
Okay, so I haven't seen this in a very long time, but it used to be my favorite. When we were in high school, we used to go to this little ice cream shop, and it was Kahlua almond amaretto. And it was just like all those flavors mixed together. It blew my mind. And I think it's a very complex but delicious flavor. So I would like to be Kahlua almond amaretto.
I would have to say because it's my favorite as well, from Baskin Robbins, Jamocha almond fudge. It's coffee ice cream with fudge swirls and almonds in it. Because I like things in my ice cream that I can like chew on. So, and then the fudge, I mean, who doesn't like chocolate fudge? So, I mean, it's a little bit, and coffee.
Good answers there. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to chat. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Make sure to catch Matthew and Russell in The Queen's Gambit, streaming now on Netflix, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.